The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
This is Matt Pless, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have folk punk singer, songwriter, and he hails from Baltimore, Maryland, Mr. Matt Pless. We're going to be talking to him about his re-release of his acoustic album, Tumbleweed. And he has been compared to some of the top songwriters of our time, including John Lennon, Paul Simon, John Prine, and Bob Dylan. So those are some big time folks right there, but we're going to be talking to him about this re-release and Matt's music. So Matt, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing awesome. Glad to have you on the show and talk about your music. So let's jump right into this. How's it been working with Tag Publicity so far?
It's been really good. I got a hold of you all, so it must be good, right?
Tag Publicity is pretty good. I will say that for sure. They have they do some good stuff for these indie bands and everybody. So that's good. I'm glad there's publicities out there that still do this for folks.
Yeah.
You have re-released your 2013 album, Tumbleweed. What made you want to re-release this album? What was missing from it that made you want to go back and do this again, possibly?
The recording of the original one sounded really bad, and the guy who initially put it out, long story short, he just stole a bunch of money from it, and I wasn't getting it, and now I get all the money, and the audio sounds better, so people listening can enjoy the experience far better than they used to be able to.
Are there any songs standing out more to you than any right now, if possible, on this album? I mean, I know it must change every time you go back and listen to it, but what are some of your favorites that stick out for you? I know Ashtray has to be one of them for sure, but are there any others?
Ashtray is probably up there for sure. I like the Crayon song and Mad Child's Lament. I think they're really good songs.
Who produced this album?
Me. I just got behind a microphone, and just started playing.
So do you like having the freedom to do this when you want and not having to be on a set schedule, and you can just do this whenever you feel like it? Do you like this?
Yeah, sure. A schedule's cool. I mean, it really depends. If I have to be somewhere on time and there's something worthwhile to get out of it, then I'll gladly be somewhere on time. But, if it just comes down to putting music out, I'll just, it's always nice to have the freedom to do it when you feel creatively inspired and not be rushed. You want to make sure everything you do has some quality to it.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this single, Ashtray, or message you hope they hear while listening to it, or just any of your music in general, possibly?
Message? Everybody have a good time. Have a great time.
Who did the artwork or design for this album for you?
I did.
So you did every bit of the artwork. You did. So basically, you done everything on this album yourself.
Yeah, I did it all.
You were tired.
My little baby. It's cool.
I want to go back to this because you mentioned this. You were tired of performing at shows that were as empty as your pockets, and you're frustrated at the state of your life, the world, and the indie art community. Would you say this album lets you put out your frustrations, possibly?
Well, I suppose in some way, yeah. I suppose some frustrations got out there. Every time you make, hopefully when you make some sort of art, you have something in it that you need to get out, or else, it's not really real, I guess. You need to have some kind of extract the poison to make that magic elixir that you sell off the back of your cart that comes to town.
Right. How much growth musically have you seen yourself go through up to the re-release of this album prior to the original release of it from 2013? Or has it just been more of a personal growth for you with all this, man?
Growth. Well, you know, I'm always growing. I guess between 2013 and now, I've done a lot. I've put out a bunch of albums since then. I think I've definitely grown lyrically and, you know, musically, and, you know, the songs hopefully keep getting catchier and the lyrics keep hopefully getting more in depth and interesting and engaging and impressive. And, you know, as long as that keeps going on and I keep buying boots instead of sneakers, I'll probably keep growing in height and creatively.
Do you think it's more harder for a indie folk punk singer out there these days than compared to, say, like 70s, 80s, possibly?
I have no idea. I wasn't around in the 70s or 80s, but, you know, it's every generation faces its own challenges. So I suppose these days, being a folk punk singer-songwriter, which I'm not sure was even around in the 70s or 80s, I feel like the folk punk thing is a relatively new sort of tag they've thrown on music that is played by people who may have come from punk rock sensibilities, but, you know, don't really have the ability to buy, you know, expensive equipment, electric equipment, and vans and all. So, you know, you grab an acoustic guitar and start belting your heart out in a song. So I don't know. I think it's probably much easier for like some folks to make music these days because you can put it on the internet and like spread all over the place instantly. You don't need a record label, but it's harder because there's so many more people doing it. You have to sift through lots of music to find the gold, you know, but the cream rises to the top, so they say.
So do you like being labeled as a folk punk singer-songwriter, or would you just rather be labeled as just a blues singer-songwriter?
I don't want to be labeled as anything.
Right. Do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help keep your mind and fresh and open, to not let the music get boring, to not let the music get stale? Do you do anything differently possibly to help you out?
I do a lot of things to keep my mind open when I'm trying to come up with something creatively, and they're all different, you know. It just depends on the mood I'm in, you know. I don't know. It's sort of like a car, you know. It's like, you know, it's you know, creativity is like it's like a car. Only you don't know how the machine operates, so you don't know how to fix it when it breaks. So when writer's block and things like that happen, you don't really know how exactly to, like, you know, fix the problem. You got to sort of experiment, trial by fire, and hopefully, you know, it comes out with something better than your last production. But no, I don't really know how to make it work. It just happens.
So what can fans expect at a show from you when they come out to see you who have not got to see you live as of yet? What are they going to get?
You can expect something you'll never forget. And probably paper airplanes and Jack Daniels.
You know, we're living in a digital era of recording albums to get music out faster. Plus, we got social media now to reach out to more folks. Do you like this now that we're living in, to reach out to more folks who have not got to hear of you and plus get music out quicker? Do you like this?
It's got its good and its bad, you know. Like I said, you can put it out there much easier than, you know, you used to be able to. You can do it without a label and all. So people can, if you get lucky and it spreads around and it goes viral and people have it take to what you're doing, you know, it can be really effective. But, you know, there's also so many people out there doing it now and uploading music and all. You know, sometimes, like I said, it's harder to, you have to go through a lot more music. So sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. You might take something really, really quality and good, might, you know, remain underneath something that has more money to spend on promotion that might not be as good quality wise, but it's all subjective anyway, you know. But in my experience, I found a lot more like, it's always the quietest person in the room who's doing like the best work, and the loudest people in the room are always just like, okay. So
what about local support? How much local support do you get via venues and plus airplay, if any, possibly?
Oh, I don't get any. Baltimore doesn't do anything for me. In fact, Baltimore is one of the only cities in the country where I can't really seem to draw a consistent crowd. There's not really a scene for this here. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore. I don't dislike the town. I like it for other reasons, but not for folk music or singer-songwriters. But, you know, I'll play out in like Denver, Colorado, or like Cheyenne, Wyoming, or someplace, and, you know, you'll have like 40 kids at like a house show or like a bar, and they'll be all about it and know all the words, and they've heard it over the internet, and it's spread that way, and, you know, they're really passionate about it in a lot of other places. I mean, over in Europe, people were coming out to see me play who had heard me online, and they were traveling by train for 4 hours to come see my show at some little coffee shop, and that was amazing, you know. I can't get people in Baltimore sometimes to come 5 minutes down the street to see me play.
That's insane.
Don't ask me why. Maybe they're afraid of getting shot. I don't know.
That is insane, man. Wow. Even your own hometown doesn't even give you much credit. That's crazy. But
Yeah, well, you know.
sadly, that's the society that we live in today, unfortunately.
It's a little frustrating, but you know.
Yeah. What do you bring to the table for music, man, that's not out there as of right now? I mean, I know everybody's not reinventing the wheel, but what do you bring differently, Matt, to this table of music?
A healthy dose of sugar-coated cynicism with an idealistic twist.
So the $1 million question for you, why did you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there? What was it?
I don't even remember. It was just kind of always there. I was writing songs when I was 8 years old. I don't know. I guess, you know, there was different moments where I remember, like, you know, seeing the Monkees on TV when I was really little. I thought they were cool. I wanted to do that, you know, be in a band and make music videos and all. Seeing going to my first church hall indie rock show when I was like 14 and seeing this local band play, seeing their 10 fans in front of the stage who are dancing. And I thought I wanted to do that. I kept going back to it and saying, I want to start a band doing that. Watching Green Day, Jaded in Chicago, VHS recording at my friend's house when I was in high school. I wanted to have a mosh pit that big at my show. So there was lots of little moments where I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And it just kept reminding me over the years in my head with different external reinforcers to continue on that path. And here I am.
I know you mentioned that you played over Europe and everything like that, but is there a country that stands out or even shocks you that you get support from and your music even gets played in that area, possibly?
On Spotify, there's like, I'm getting plays in like Indonesia. I don't know how it's even getting over there. So yeah, there's places all over the place. At least 3 people in the middle of like Haiti or something are listening to my stuff on Spotify. And I'm like, how the hell are people hearing it here? So yeah, that's always surprising.
Before I let you go, good sir, how can folks stay in touch with you, buy your merchandise, tour dates, things like that? How can you do that, Matt?
Well, they just call me up and do an interview. No, I'm just kidding. They can go to www.mattpless.com on the internet. They can Google my name. It's like Matt Pless, like less with a P in front of it. Google will help you find me all across the board. There's Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook. That's always exciting. I got Instagram. I put cool pictures of my mediocre mug. And yeah, you know, it's 2019. We can find anything we want in this world.
That is very true.
No hiding anymore.
That is very, 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 very true. Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for my show right fast?
Absolutely. This is Matt Pless, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link plus our YouTube link. Soon it'll have our Twitch link as well. Please get out and check out Matt Pless's music. Great stuff from this little guy. And I tell you what, he's knocking some of this stuff out of the ballpark, folks, and won't be too long. I guarantee he'll be out there a little bit better. So, Matt, good luck to you, man.
Thanks, man. You take it easy.